of a particular battle in Vietnam. 50 years ago today, on March 2nd, 1968, 92 American soldiers were ambushed by North Vietnamese regulars in a special battalion. In a period of about 8 minutes, 49 of those soldiers lost their lives out of the 92. 29 more were wounded, and only 14 walked out of there without a scratch. A native of Western Henry County, his name is Nicholas Kutina, grew up in Alva with his brother Roy. Nicholas was a machine gunner in that outfit. As the unit was pinned down, suffering heavy casualties in such a short amount of time, Nicholas Kutina used his machine gun to charge the enemy's position. In doing so, Nicholas Kutina was wounded several times. One time, the machine gun was shot out of his hand, and he had to crawl wounded to another machine gun to pick it up in order to keep firing. Because of Nicholas's actions and his bravery in confronting the enemy, saving the rest of the platoon, he was awarded the Medal of Honor posthumously by President Nixon. Today, right here on this street, I have survivors of that event. They are called the Manchu Warriors because they belong to the 25th Infantry Regiment, which served in the Boxer Rebellion in China in 1901, where they got the name Manchu Warriors that stuck forever. These guys probably shouldn't be here today if it were not for the grace of God. So I'd like to bring up the Manchu Warriors right now. And I'd also like to introduce Mr. Roy Kutina. Roy, would you please join us? Roy Kutina is Nicholas Kutina's brother, and Roy grew up in Alva. Now, what makes today special, not only was it 50 years to the day that this happened, this event, but these gentlemen you see before you, they come to Henry County from all over the nation every year on this weekend to pay respect and tribute to Nicholas Kutina for his actions. And for that, as a community, I think we're especially proud of them and thankful for their remembrance. So next I'd like to welcome up Mr. Mike Swindle, Henry County Commissioner, to read the proclamation.
Thank you, Matt. Before I read the proclamation and the official proclamation, I would like to say welcome everyone to beautiful Henry County and the beautiful downtown LaBelle. For those of you that have never been here, we're certainly glad all of you are here. I am certainly proud to be American, as I know all of you are. And we all know that America is what it is because of the great military that we have. Do you all agree? Yeah. Not only to the Manchu Warriors, but would you raise your hand if any of you, the rest of you out there, are there any other vets in the audience watching? Nice. Can we give everyone a round of applause? Once again, thank you all very much for being here. We, on behalf of Henry County, we greatly appreciate and love the fact that the veterans are here and celebrating, and we're pleased that you're here, and we want everyone to have a good time this evening. What I have before me is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Henry County, Florida, proclaiming March 2nd, 2018 as Manchu Warrior Day. Whereas local veteran Nicholas Kutina served with the Manchu Warriors of the Company C, 4th Battalion, 9th Regiment, 25th Army Infantry Division during the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. And whereas the Manchu Warriors fought bravely in defense of the liberty during the Battle of Hang Mon on March 2nd, 1968, losing 49 soldiers dead. and 24 soldiers wounded, and of the 92 soldiers of the unit in just 8 minutes. And whereas Army Specialist 4, Nicholas Kutina, was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for valor under fire when saving the lives of 9 of his platoon mates before being fatally wounded. And whereas annually the surviving Manchu warriors gather in Henry County to render reverence and gratitude for the sacrifice of their brethren. And whereas the reverence shown by the Manchu warriors upon a local veteran epitomizes the American values shared by our community. Now, therefore, the Henry County Board of County Commissioners, Henry County, Florida, does hereby proclaim March 2nd, 2018 as Manchu Warrior Day, duly considered and adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, Henry County, Florida, the 23rd day of January 2018. Signed, Mitch Wills, Chairman. Please join me in giving a very great round of applause to these great Americans.
Next, I'd like to bring up Mr. Sal Casano. Sal is a survivor of Hawkman, and in a little twist to a moment of silence, I'd like Sal to read the names of the 49 Americans that lost their lives that day, today, 50 years ago, so that they may always be remembered. Sal?
Thank you, Matt. Commander, Legionnaires, fellow Manchus and friends. Welcome to the 50-year commemoration of the ambush at Hawkman, March 2nd, 1968, in the village of Hawkman in the Republic of South Vietnam. 47 brave infantrymen of Charlie Company, 4th Battalion, 9th Infantry Regiment of the 25th Infantry Division, and 2 combat engineers of the 65th Combat Engineer Battalion made the ultimate sacrifice at 9 a.m. that morning. We continue to remember and honor them and to mourn their loss. Those 49 warriors gave the last full measure for a cause they believed was just. I will now read their names with a short pause between each. This will require about 8 minutes, the approximate length of time it took for this tragic event to occur. Jose Luis Alvarez Tapia. Jerry Avery. Chuck Bonds. Harlan Brantz. Jerry Byers. Bill Cawley Jr. Alvin Payson. Bruce Elliott Jr. Gary Frazier. Mike Frost. Ray Gallagher. Larry Johnson. Cal Johnson. Jack Jordan Jr. Lee Lanier. Charlie Lee. Jim Mathis. Bob McGee. Chuck Milat. Lenny Moore. Tom Moore, Barry Moyer, Jim O'Loughlin, Roy Page, Willie Rossano, Jose Reyes, Mike Rivers, Ron Salvani, Willard Skaggs Jr., Ron Slane, Harry Sosa, Cliff Stockton, Danny Swayzik, Warren Tall, John Thompson, Carol Titsworth, Walt Velvet, Larry Walden, Gary Watkins, Paul West, Darrell Wheeler, Larry Widener, Joe Williams, Virgil Williams, Ken Wingate, Will Young, Danny Young, Nicholas Joseph Coutinho. Most of the Manchus who died that day 50 years ago were very young. The youngest was barely 18, the oldest only 31. Most were 20. Not old enough to leave much of a legacy, it would seem. But it doesn't take much reflection to realize they did leave a legacy. A legacy of selflessness, sacrifice, and caring for each other. And those who survived owe it to them to remember that legacy and to share it with others so that their history can live on. Okay. I had another thing, but it's not here. I ask that we remove our cover to observe a brief moment of silence in tribute to these brave souls.